homeschooled long before Daniel was even ready for kindergarten. Before we had children, I taught public school for a short period of time and was thrilled with the opportunity to see children learn new information and gain new knowledge, and I couldn't imagine not experiencing that with my own children, so we made the sacrifice for me to be able to be our kids' teacher. The twins are in kindergarten. Joy is in 1st grade. Josiah is in 4th grade. Andrew is in 5th grade. And Daniel is in 6th grade. This hole here is what happens when you have sheetrock that's not very thick and boys are roughhousing and get a little too rough. And this door, I'm not exactly sure how it completely broke, but when it was installed many years ago, the person who fixed it cracked the frame, and it has just completely come off. So the boys have no door to their bedroom. They have no privacy now.
Okay, boys' bedroom.
There's also a hole in the wall from the door. And this is the kids' bathroom. We've had water damage from the sink that we just haven't had the resources to fix. And we don't know the extent of the damage under, but the cabinet is not very useful. And this is what happens when Murray is not quite sure how to fix a shower and fixes it from when there was a problem with it and that hasn't been fixed or sealed, and it's just, I painted over it so it would look a little better, but that's just plywood there with problems with the sheetrock. This is our kitchen. We have had water damage under the sink, and it has caused the cabinet to kind of just fall apart down here, and I don't know the extent of the damage under it as well. And we also have drawers that are literally falling apart. And this one, we keep losing things. Everything just falls right through. This is our bedroom. We have to use it for a lot of things. Book storage. My weights are in the corner for exercise. It functions as a lot of different things. Our bed is for folding clothes, it seems like half the time. And it's on a bed frame that is being supported by children's step stools right now because our frame fell apart. Well, this is our master bathroom. You can see it's a fairly good size. I'm standing where the garden tub was that we had to remove to make room to make this a nursery when the twins came because we didn't have space. We couldn't figure out where to put them. And you can see that we have problems with this sink. It doesn't fit right, and there's leaking there. And the light fixture is hanging quite precariously. And over here, we have a refrigerator in our bathroom, but we needed the extra refrigeration space, so used where a sink used to be to house a little refrigerator. And it probably is a little unusual to have a desk in the room, but this is Murray's office and his study space. And this is also our second bathroom. So when more than one kid has to use the bathroom at a time, this is where they have to go, regardless of whether Murray's working or not. And when he's on the phone, this is the only place he can go to get a little bit of quiet, but that's only till someone knocks on the door asking to please use the bathroom.
go down and get the police.
This is our home. Originally, we planned to just be here for a couple of years, but due to the medical problems and issues, we love being in the country, but it has been a challenge, but we were thankful for it.
There's where the squirrels have gotten into our home. They've actually chewed a small hole in our bedroom ceiling.
As you can see, we've had several of the windows are rotted and broken, and down here we had some people trying to help us repair the water damage from in the bathroom we talked about in there, and still haven't been able to do it because of my health issue. We're still trying to get help with that.
Go ahead.
As you can see, one of the problems with the home that's over 27 years old, the boards coming loose and the open area there, we just haven't had the resources to begin getting some of these things corrected.
To tell about our family, I think I have to start briefly at the beginning. Murray and I met when I was working at his veterinarian's office, and I wanted to learn to train dogs, and I saw what he did, and I just knew that he was unbelievably amazing at training dogs, and in a little over a year, we were married. That was in March of 1997. That first year, there weren't a whole lot of too many medical things or anything really going on. It was a great first year of marriage, and we went on my first trip to New York City in May of 1998, and while there, I guess Murray thought things weren't quite exciting enough. He had a heart attack and ended up in the hospital for almost a full week, and I was staying there, and that was really, really tough. And we came back home, and he was in the hospital again. When we came home, they had to stabilize him, and when we got back home, he had 2 stents put in, and they did an angioplasty, and he improved and he got better, but things after that had been different. We knew issues that we didn't know before, and before that he had no risk factors for heart disease, and this was a huge shock. He was in great health, didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't do a lot of the things that could cause this, and so he had to learn to adapt to what all this meant. And then in 1998, he had another heart attack. And it was shortly thereafter that I was pregnant with Daniel, our first son, who was born in 1999. And things were going fairly smoothly with Murray's health. He would have problems on and off, and Andrew was born in 2000, and things were going fairly well. We lived in the same home, but we had dreams of making changes and building a kennel and lots of things for our business. And in 2002, Josiah was born, and he was healthy and everything was going great until May 31st of 2003. He was 10 months old to the day. He started having seizures, and that first day he had about 20 seizures. And from then till September of that year, he had from 20 to over several days with over 100 seizures. It was a rough time. I was so grateful that on my birthday he didn't have a single seizure that year, and that was a great present. But we struggled just dealing with that, raising 2 toddlers and dealing with his medical issues. But on September 10th of 2003, he had brain surgery, and they had to remove a full square inch of his brain. And they said he would be paralyzed on that side, and prepared us for that it may be permanent. But in the recovery room, he was moving every limb, and the doctor said he was a miracle child. It was amazing, and his recovery was great. He hasn't had a single seizure since then, but he does still struggle with movement, full movement in that right leg. He can't stretch. The tendons in his heel haven't stretched as long as they need to, and there's some muscle weakness, but he's doing well. But his pediatric orthopedic doctor has said that they expect him to have surgery within the next year to fix some of the problems that's caused with his feet, and he'll have to be in a wheelchair for at least 6 weeks. And as you saw from the video earlier, he wouldn't be able to get in the house, out of the house. The wheelchair would be too wide for the bathroom door, and probably his bedroom door as well. And I don't know how we would cope with that. And I just try not to dwell on that at all right now. And we